Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is the second fairy in continuous to my previous fairy, the one I did in my last video. Okay, so if you watched that video, you may already noticed that this doesn't really say poisonous to me, or that this doesn't really have the message of being dark and poisonous, because in my last video I said that I wanted to make a poisonous fairy because I got inspired by these mushrooms that were growing in my front yard and I found out that they were poisonous. So that was the reason why I wanted to make a poisonous fairy. But maybe that's just me, but this doesn't really say dark or poisonous. I mean, it's definitely different than the fairy I did in my last video because this has more muted colors, whereas the other fairy was a lot more bright, a lot more innocent like, I should say, whereas this fairy is more muted and a little bit more mysterious, but not necessarily poisonous like how I wanted it to be. And I didn't realize that until probably halfway through filming and painting, and I don't know, maybe I should have scrapped it, maybe I should have done this all over again, but I kind of wanted to see where it went because I was really confident in the colors that I chose. I didn't want it to be bright like the previous fairy, but I didn't necessarily want her to be dressed in black because I just felt like that would be too boring for what I was trying to do. So I wanted to incorporate more dull, muted colors, but still kind of be pretty. Just be different than what I did in my previous video because I wanted this to have more of a dark and solemn feeling, whereas the previous fairy had more of a happy and go-lucky, just very all over cheery feeling to it. But to be honest, maybe I didn't get that message across. Maybe this wasn't how, I mean, it definitely isn't how I really pictured it to be. I don't know how to put it into words. She definitely doesn't look poisonous. Like, I feel like if I did get that message across, she definitely would look a little bit scarier, more intimidating. But I feel like I didn't really do that. But at the same time, I'm actually kind of proud of where this went, even though I didn't necessarily reach the goal of poisonous. I still feel really good about this, to be honest, because in the end it still was fun to do, and I just really like how she looks still. Even though I didn't really get the goal of poisonous, I still really like how she came out, and I'm pretty sure that's because she does look different than what you would think when you hear the word fairy, you know what I mean? Normally when you hear the concept of fairies, you really think of bright and innocent colors, you know, a lot of bright yellows, maybe a lot of pinks and blues, even pastel colors, you know what I mean? That's normally the color concept you would think of, whereas here I went with a more muted, more kind of grayish colors for this painting because I knew that bright rainbow colors, even pastel colors, would be way too innocent for her. So yeah, I actually do really like how she came out because she does look so different than what people would normally think of when they hear the term fairies. So I'm pretty content with how this came out. Besides, you know, she's not necessarily poisonous, so I might have to think of a new name for her rather than poisonous fairy, because I don't think that's what she is anymore. So who knows, I might make another fairy. There might be a third one in the future, and I might take it up a notch and actually make her look like a grungy, poisonous fairy. I also wanted to say that the only thing I do regret that I feel like does steer this fairy far away from it being poisonous is the color I chose for the mushroom. That's the only thing that I really regret, because I didn't want to go with white because the mushrooms that were growing in my front yard were white. I just wanted it to be like a different color, but instead I kind of made it look like mint ice cream. I don't know, that's what went through my head the more I went forward with this painting. So that's the only thing that I regret. Otherwise, the whole thing I am a-okay with. So let's talk about the process really quick. I feel like the process of this fairy was a lot easier than the previous one that I did, just because that they are so close together. Whereas the last painting that I did prior to the previous one, if that makes sense, the time frame I believe was like 5 months. So I'm pretty sure, because this fairy is so close in time with my previous one, I got into the groove again with watercolor painting. So I'm pretty sure that's why the process was a lot easier. It's still pretty rough. I still messed up a little bit with the masking fluid. I still left some chunks here and there, but it's far less than the previous one. And I will admit the lining process could have been better, but it was overall a little bit better than my last one. Other than the brush selection, I was going in between brushes a lot more than my last one, but it doesn't really matter because I am pretty content with how this came out, and it was a fun process in the end. So we are at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys really liked how this fairy came out with, even though it didn't get to the poisonous feeling like how I wanted. I still overall am really content with how this came out, and I really hope that you guys are content with it as well. So that is all I have for today. I have nothing else to say other than if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me via social media. I will leave all of my links down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!